Of all the strange incidents that were reported on the ranch, one in particular stands alone. There's a trickster element to it.
Yeah, there's a trickster element to it, and I think the biggest one that really would blow most people's minds, scientists or anybody trying to analyze this, of course, is the account of the bulls in the trailer.
There were 2,000-pound bulls in this little corral here.
1999. Earlier in the day, the rancher had come across strange tracks in the dense brush on the edge of the Middle homestead. Tracks unlike anything he'd ever seen. The family was on edge because by that point they'd lost a dozen or more head of expensive cattle. They couldn't afford to lose any more.
About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the rancher and his wife were driving past on their way down to the west end of the property to check on their other animals. So these were their 4 best thoroughbred, registered Black Angus and Simmental bulls. They were like very valuable animals, thousands of dollars each. And, you know, Terry and Gwen, or the rancher and his wife, as they were driving past, remarked on how devastating it would be to them financially if they lost those animals.
It was as if someone overheard their concerns. When they returned to the corral an hour later,
and they were driving past the corral here on this track when they realized no bulls. The bulls were gone from the corral. So they panicked, you know, they ran over here searching, and the entire corral was empty. And then just out of kind of instinct, the rancher climbed over into the corral, into this corral here, and walked over to this trailer.
Trailer was used to store tools and other equipment. There was only one way into it, and the only latch was still secured by heavy wire, just as the rancher had left it.
The door was still locked. This latch was actually pulled way down here. It was obvious it had never been opened. It was pulled down here. This was locked. This doorway here was open, and he looked in, and all 4 animals were standing there like totally dazed. And to work with even a single bull, getting him into an enclosed space like this would be almost impossible. To get 4 2,000-pound bulls into a tiny, tiny enclosed space where they were squashed up against each other would be completely impossible. But anyway, Terry yelled, or the rancher yelled to his wife that he had found the animals, and his yell just seemed to wake them up out of this catatonic trance or daze they were in. And suddenly they just went ape. When they realized they were in this crammed space, they went crazy. They started kicking down the sides of this thing, and they kicked one of the doors. There's a boarded door at the other end there. They kicked the door open, and they just went absolutely wild. They destroyed the inside of this trailer in like minutes. Eventually, it took the rancher and his wife about 4 hours to herd the animals back through here and in here. And in the space of an hour, something had induced or forced or persuaded those 4 extremely aggressive animals to cram themselves into this trailer without opening this door. This door was not opened because we actually checked that to see there was cobwebs and all of that on the inside of the door, and it was quite obvious from this setup here that this had not been moved at all. We've moved it back and forth when we've examined this since then, but these animals, in response to what Terry, or to the rancher and his wife had said, obviously had been put in there as some kind of a prank, whatever. Again, to underline anxiety, to create anxiety in the rancher and his wife that they had lost their animals.
This is a photo of the bulls taken a few hours after they were released, and they were still in a surly mood. The NIDS team wasn't on the property at the time of the incident, but arrived soon after. Almost as strange as the treatment of the bulls was the physical evidence left at the scene. The bars of the corral had been magnetized.
Examining this metal structure, all along the length of the metal structure, it was extremely highly magnetized. the entire corral here, there was magnetic field deviation for several hours on this corral, and then it just kind of dissipated. But very strong magnetic field along this entire length of corral. That was the only clue that was found to what happened here, and it doesn't even tie into how exactly it happened.
So you can't just say it was teenagers who came into the corral and got these bulls into this thing somehow.
No, you need to be extremely, even to get one bull into this corral. I mean, forcing a bull to climb up this into an enclosed space is just impossible. You know, and the fact is, it was verified pretty well convincingly that this door had not opened in the interim. Huh? And that's the only way in from the corral. I mean, it's another one of these brain teasers, you know, how exactly was it done? Why was it done? All of that.